shooter opening fire at Florida State University. The gunshots ringing out across the campus. Students seen fleeing, others urgently evacuating with their hands above their heads. Just before noon, a gunman started shooting near the school student union. 2 people are dead, according to authorities. 6 others are injured.
Needless to say, we have multiple crime scenes. This is a very large area we're covering. This is an active, ongoing investigation.
Authorities say suspect Phoenix Eichner is in the hospital. The 20-year-old is the son of a current sheriff's deputy, according to the Leon County Sheriff.
Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene.
As warnings of an active shooter went out across campus, some sprinted away. Others barricaded themselves inside campus buildings.
We blocked the doors with tables and stuff. I couldn't get through to 911.
Multiple law enforcement agencies rushing to the scene.
This way, this way.
Officers clearing buildings room by room using a code word, evacuating terrified students.
Mass hysteria went through the building.
President Trump this afternoon asked if he wants to see any changes to gun legislation following today's attack.
I'm a big advocate of the Second Amendment. I have been from the beginning. I protected it. And these things are terrible. But the gun doesn't do the shooting. The people do. It's, a phrase that's used probably too often. I will tell you that it's a shame.
Today's shooting wasn't the first at Florida State University. In 2014, an alum shot an employee and 2 students at a library. Tonight, authorities say several buildings are still active crime scenes. A campus shaken once again after another day of violence.
And Priya joins us live from the FSU campus. The alleged shooter, not only the son of a sheriff's deputy, but heavily involved with that department.
This is what we know so far. 2 people are dead and a sheriff's deputy's son is in custody after an active shooter was reported at Florida State University's campus in Tallahassee. The suspect is the 20-year-old son of a sheriff's deputy who had access to one of her weapons. Leon County Sheriff Walt McNeil said, "At least 6 people are being treated at Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare," a hospital spokesperson said. The university told students that the threat to the campus has been neutralized, but that the area around the campus is considered an active crime scene. An FSU student who saw the shooter described him as a normal college dude who was wearing an orange t-shirt and khaki shorts. "I was walking, and this guy pulls up in an orange Hummer," the student said. "And he gets out with a rifle and shoots in my direction." A student who has previously interacted with the suspect informs a reporter that he holds radical Nazi white supremacy ideas. The fact that the suspect is the sheriff deputy's son adds to the gravity of the matter. "So I got to think about who taught him this perspective. However, he is currently recovering in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And I am sure we will get additional information after he has fully recovered. Because he will have to face some consequences for his actions."
A suspected shooter has been identified by police as an FSU student by the name of Phoenix Eichner. I know it's a big school. Did you happen to know him?
So I spent my first 2 years at Tallahassee, now called Tallahassee State College, but we called it TCC. And I was the president of a political talk group we called the Political Roundtable, and he joined the club when I was at TCC. Our only rule was no Nazis, colloquially speaking. And he espoused so much white supremacist rhetoric and far right rhetoric as well, to the point where we had to exercise that rule. I also know he was a member of the TCC Turning Point chapter. And since TCC, I have seen him in passing a couple times. Today, I was talking to a friend who had talked to him 2 days ago, and he was talking about how he wasn't ready for exams.
You were a transfer student essentially into FSU, right? So you started the first 2 years in Tallahassee, and that is where you knew Phoenix Eichner, the suspected shooter here. And you say that he was essentially, it sounded like, kicked out of a political club that you were in because of his, as you described them, views on white supremacy?
And I see I noticed the car first of all because it's like a service road right next to it that doesn't really lead anywhere. usually like faculty vans are parked, and there was like a really nice like burnt orange Hummer that was sitting there. So I noticed that immediately, and I kind of like made a diagonal and walked right past it. And as I got past it and I'm at like the stop sign at the corner about to keep walking, and I see the guy like get out, and he has like a rifle that he's kind of waving around, and there's like another boy next to me, and he kind of like lays off a shot, but it seemed pretty specific to that boy. So I thought, okay, well maybe like I was still gonna run, but I was like, well, maybe the boy made him mad, maybe like, you know, like they have some beef or something. But then after he missed that shot, he immediately turned into his car door and grabbed the pistol. And that's when he looked the opposite direction towards the Union and shot just some random lady like walking in front of him in the back. And so then I just started running as fast as I could, and then I could just hear like shots echoing as I was running.